That there was Christian Bale's character being released from jail in the 2013 film Out of the Furnace. The guy waiting for him was his brother, a role by Casey Affleck. The problem is that Casey's got himself in trouble with some relentless rednecks, and before long he turns up missing. It's then up to Bale to try and get him back. Putting it like this might make it sound like a generic, uninspired action flick, but it definitely isn't. It's actually a gritty indie film that touches on a lot of socio-political issues.
There are many themes that course through this. Loyalty, brotherhood, fate, circumstances. And then if you bore down a little more deeply, you get a sense of America that's been reeling through economic decline, soldiers who return from two fronts suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and the fact that we live in a violent nation. But I see it as a film really about the human spirit and the human condition and resilience and courage.
Director Scott Cooper was adamant about getting Christian Bale to play the lead. He wrote the character specifically for him and wouldn't make the thriller without the British star. Christian, however, wasn't exactly available.
It just wasn't possible to get it together because I was in the middle of making a film and it just wasn't going to happen. And then it was actually quite impulsive. I called up Scott just to be supportive because I assumed he'd moved on and he would have cast somebody else and he'd be making the film. And I just want to be supportive and say good luck with it. And called up and said, who are you making it with? And he said, no, I told you, you're the only guy I'd make it with. And so I said, oh wow, all right, well I've got 3 months free. Can we get it together? And he did. He got it together really quickly.
Out of the Furnace is set in the economically depressed Rust Belt, so that's where they shot it too. In the town of Braddock, to be precise.
Having written the screenplay and written it specifically for Braddock, it hopefully will imbue the entire set with a sense of authenticity and realism that you just don't get on a back lot.
It just wouldn't have been the same without it, it wouldn't have worked. Being in the real place, feeling the kind of rawness of it, having the locals being in the background and being the real people, getting to hang out with them, going to the real steel furnaces, learning the accent and everything from the locals, it all makes such a huge difference.
In the setting as a character itself in the movie, it's kind of about places like this, people like this in a way, as well as being about these specific people.
Cooper put an impressive cast together for Out of the Furnace, and the actors were willing to put in a lot of work. Christian Bale learned how to operate a real furnace, while Casey Affleck spent 3 months in training to get the body of a fighter. While the movie did make a good impression on critics and cinemagoers, it underperformed at the box office, costing the studio a few million. Still, it's a cool story to watch. Just be warned that it has some heavy scenes in it. Like what you see? Subscribe to our channel for more exclusive clips.